Thanks for tuning in to the American Huddle. Here with Andy Gresh, I'm Haley Outen. It's championship week, and we're going to break down this rematch of last year's championship between UCF and Memphis. How much excitement is in the air as the best of the best compete this weekend for the conference crown?
Well, I mean, now we're getting down to winning a trophy, and every time you can win a trophy, that's a big game, obviously. And the fact that it's a rematch is that much more interesting. Like, it's almost like, well, we just rewind to a year ago, and we're right in this same spot, except the difference is UCF now has a dangum near 25-game win streak going, and Memphis is not the high-flying chuck-em-duck-em attack that they've had in years past. They're much more rooted in running the ball.
Last year, Memphis made 3 trips to Orlando due to the hurricane, ended up playing the Knights twice, lost both of those games. However, the championship was one of the most exciting in recent college football history, a combined 117 points and over 1,400 yards of total offense between Memphis and UCF, going down as the highest scoring conference championship in FBS history. What are the chances we see another high-scoring affair?
I would say slim and none. Now, are we going to see 62-55? No. Are we going to see 35-31? Okay, there's where I think the game ends up being played this year, because we know UCF does not have Mackenzie Milton, and Memphis is a team that's going to run it, so therefore they're going to eat the clock a little bit more, slow the game down, and try to play it at their pace. So we may end up having 800 yards of offense. I just don't know if we're going to have as many touchdowns as we did last year.
This year, UCF and Memphis met during the regular season in October. It looked like the Tigers were going to put an end to the winning streak when they took a 30-14 lead into halftime. However, quarterback Mackenzie Milton led his team to a come-from-behind win with 17 unanswered points to win that one 31-30. If you're Memphis, where is your mind at knowing you have another shot at UCF?
Yeah, whether Milton's there or not, it doesn't matter. This is about 2 things: winning a championship first and foremost, and trying to break that UCF streak. Let's face it, UCF going for 25 in a row. If you're the team that knocks them off that pedestal, you get national recognition, because it will be a big story. I mean, not every day do teams win 25 consecutive football games. So that said, I think for Memphis, it's not about last year. It's about this year. Having a chance to win a championship and to ruin that streak for UCF. That's got to be something that Mike Norvell and his kids are talking about.
Of course, on the UCF side, a heartbreaking injury to Milton in last Friday's game against USF. The whole country has been pouring out the love for the QB on social media as he recovers from leg surgery. Andy, when a teammate like Milton, who is the face and leader of this team, goes down, how does that impact the emotions as his teammates prepare to take the field in the championship?
Well, there's a couple of things. It happened in the second quarter of that USF game. So they did get to play with Darryl Mack Jr., and I know that Mack has been in there before, but now it's not, oh, well, Mackenzie's coming back. If we struggle, we know we can lean on him. They have to go out and recreate their identity on offense, and defensively, they're going to have to shoulder the load. You know, when you look at both of these football teams, they both run the ball, believe it or not, at a pretty close clip. UCF around 268 per game, Memphis at 275 per game. The way they go about it, though, is very different. Will Mack be able to carry his part of the running game load? That's something that we don't know, and would place a lot of stress on this UCF offense. So, Haley, I think early they need to come out, put some points on the board, and gain some confidence on that side of the ball right away.
Milton, of course, a huge piece of the 24-game win streak the Knights will ride into this Saturday's championship, and they've scored at least 31 points in every game this season. How does the freshman Darryl Mack Jr. step into the shoes of Milton and keep the offense on pace?
Well, I mean, that's going to be tough, because we know that Memphis, while their defense isn't great, they have the ability to hold on to the football. So from the Memphis end, you're thinking, let's cut down those possessions and let's force them to have to do things on the UCF side that maybe that they don't want to do. In terms of Darryl Mack, he's got to make sure to get him in and out of the right plays. He's got to make sure to protect the football at all costs, whether it's running or don't be throwing it over the middle looking to make a big play. Take the plays that are there, trust your offense, and churn down the field. If big plays happen and they materialize. But if they don't, Mack, very tough as a young quarterback, has got to be patient in running this offense.
When you look at Memphis's journey, a few weeks ago, we basically thought the Tigers had no chance of being in this position after starting conference 1-3. That being said, they made a remarkable run, winning their last 4 and getting a little help in the West Division. Where has this Memphis team found new life in order to close out the season strong?
I think they've been clutch, Haley. They played well in fourth quarters, but also, I mean, when you have the ability to turn around and lean on people and run the football the way they do, that just takes the life out of a defense. So I think Memphis, a couple of years ago, it was they're going to throw it 50 times to beat you and, score 7 touchdowns on the road. They got quarterbacks throwing 7 touchdown passes at times. And now it's, let's turn around and run the ball. And people think, oh, that's boring. Well, when you do it at the clip that Memphis does, it really isn't that boring. So I think the Tigers, everything is set for them. The pieces are in place for them to be able to pull this upset. And let's be real, regardless of what, anybody out in Nevada tells you, this would be an upset. UCF is the favorite going into this game, even without Mackenzie Milton.
Andy, what is the key to Memphis getting redemption and leaving Orlando with the trophy?
Haley, they got to do 3 things. 1, they got to win the battle on special teams. And they're normally pretty good at that, especially in the return game. They need big returns. Number 2, they've got to run the ball with Henderson and Taylor. And I'm talking about 35, 40 carries combined for those guys. And number 3, if they get down, they can't come out of who they are. If they're down 14-0, we know they run the ball this year, and they run it at a pretty good clip. Stick with it. Trust your defense. Know that you've got a young quarterback on the other side. They do those things, they got a great chance to walk away with a trophy.
On the other side, for UCF, a team that has had a lot of noise surrounding it all season long, and now there's extra noise and emotions, of course, without Mackenzie Milton. What will be the key to winning a back-to-back title and punching their ticket to a New Year's Six game or better?
Be them. Be themselves. They've got to trust Darryl Mack to make plays. They've got to rely on their defense, which has got to do a better job of stopping the run. And look, they have the one thing that everybody wants this time of year: home field. Weather will be good. It's their stadium. It's their yard. Their fans are going to be whipped into a frenzy. We know what they thought last year in terms of crowning themselves the uncrowned national champions. That's got to be the rallying cry. We can do something really special. I need 70,000 people in the stadium that are willing to whip it up and match the intensity level of the football team.
Plain and simple, who walks away this year's American champion?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me this. I'm going to go UCF 35-34, but get ready. This thing is going to be agita central if you're a Knights fan or if you're a Tiger. This will not be easy for UCF. Darryl Mack has got to protect the football. To me, that's the number one thing he does. Even if he doesn't sling it for 300 yards, if he can throw for 189 or 200 and not turn it over and pitch in the run game, I still think UCF finds a way to get it done. And the other thing too, Haley, is they're going to know. UCF will know. They know they got to win to have a chance to be able to crash that CFP party, but they also have more information now as they go into this game, and they know that, okay, certain teams lost. No 2-loss team has ever got into the college football playoff. So I think that information actually does help them in terms of going into this game and saying, if this happens and this happens, we might have a chance to get in.
All right, well, we shall see next week if your prediction
That's right.
is correct.
We'll see.
Or you can always count on me to hold you accountable.
Of course, and I threw myself under the bus today because I know I got that Memphis pick wrong. But it's been a great year in the American, and the fact that Memphis, a name brand in the American, is back in the championship game, that's never a bad thing.
All right, well, don't forget you can tune in live to championship coverage beginning Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern as we count down to kickoff in Orlando. Saturday, we'll bring you a 1-hour pregame show beginning at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be back to wrap up the championship game following the conclusion between UCF and Memphis. We hope you'll catch all of our live coverage on Twitter and Facebook. Best of luck to UCF and Memphis. May the best team win.